Gene Hackman's $80 million estate in legal limbo after he and wife Betsy Arakawa die days apart. Gene Hackman's $80 million estate has been thrown into legal uncertainty after it was revealed that his 3 adult children were not named as direct beneficiaries in his will, raising questions about the future of the Hollywood icon's fortune. The 2-time Oscar-winning actor, 95, and his wife, Betsy Arakawa Hackman, 65, were found dead at their Santa Fe, New Mexico, home on February 26, leaving behind a tangled legal situation regarding the inheritance of his estate. Hackman, one of Hollywood's most celebrated actors, built his career over 5 decades, starring in critically acclaimed films such as The French Connection, 1971, Unforgiven, 1992, Superman, 1978, and The Conversation, 1974. His versatile acting style and commanding presence on screen earned him widespread recognition, multiple awards, and a lasting legacy in the film industry. His death marks the end of an era for Hollywood, but the unresolved state of his will has now become the center of attention. Hackman's will names wife as sole beneficiary. According to legal documents obtained by Entertainment Weekly, Hackman's will was last updated in 2005, nearly 20 years before his death. In the will, Hackman identified his 3 children, Christopher, 65, Elizabeth, 62, and Leslie, 58, whom he shared with his first wife, Fay Maltese. However, the will explicitly stated that his entire estate would be left to his second wife, Betsy Arakawa Hackman. Hackman and Maltese were married from 1956 to 1986. Their relationship produced 3 children, but by the time Hackman married Arakawa in 1991, he had already revised his estate plan. Despite identifying his 3 children in the will, Hackman's estate plan left everything to Arakawa, stating, "I give my entire estate to Betsy Arakawa Hackman." Arakawa, a pianist and former furniture seller, was Hackman's companion for over 3 decades. Their long-standing marriage was considered one of the most stable in Hollywood, with Hackman often crediting Arakawa for providing him with peace and stability later in life. However, with Arakawa passing away days before Hackman, the legal standing of the will has been called into question. Since the sole beneficiary named in the will is no longer alive, it remains unclear whether the estate will pass directly to Hackman's children or if the lack of a secondary beneficiary could lead to a legal dispute. Details surrounding the deaths of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa. New Mexico's chief medical investigator, Dr. Heather Jarrell, confirmed on March 7 that Hackman died of heart disease, with Alzheimer's disease listed as a contributing factor. Hackman's health had been in decline for years. Reports surfaced in 2012 that the actor had largely retreated from public life, focusing on his health and spending time with his wife. Close friends noted that Hackman had shown signs of memory loss and cognitive decline in the years leading up to his death. Arakawa's death was even more unexpected and tragic. Dr. Jarrell determined that Arakawa died of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, a rare and often fatal disease transmitted through contact with rodent droppings. The sudden nature of Arakawa's death and the unusual cause of death have added another layer of complexity to the unfolding legal situation. Medical experts have described hantavirus pulmonary syndrome as a rare but deadly condition, with a mortality rate of approximately 38%. Symptoms include fever, muscle aches, and respiratory distress, which can rapidly progress to severe pulmonary complications. How Arakawa contracted the virus remains unknown, but investigators have not ruled out the possibility that she was exposed to contaminated surfaces or materials within the couple's home. Legal uncertainty surrounding the estate. The immediate legal issue stems from the fact that Hackman's estate plan named Arakawa as the sole beneficiary and successor trustee. Since Arakawa passed away before Hackman, the terms of the will no longer apply as written, leaving the $80 million estate in limbo. Legal experts have noted that the absence of a named secondary beneficiary could lead to a lengthy probate process. Under New Mexico state law, if a sole beneficiary predeceases the testator, the person who created the will, the estate typically passes to the testator's next of kin. In Hackman's case, this would likely mean that his 3 children, Christopher, Elizabeth, and Leslie, would inherit the estate. However, probate courts have wide discretion when interpreting the terms of a will, especially when no secondary beneficiary is named. If Hackman's estate plan included provisions for a contingent beneficiary, such as a charity or trust, the court could allocate the estate based on those terms. Potential for family disputes. Hackman's children have yet to make any public statements regarding their father's estate. However, sources close to the family have indicated that tensions have arisen over the handling of the inheritance. Christopher Hackman, the eldest of the 3 children, reportedly had a strained relationship with his father in the years leading up to Hackman's death. Christopher, who has largely avoided public attention, was not known to have maintained regular contact with his father. Elizabeth and Leslie, however, were reportedly closer to Hackman and had visited him frequently in Santa Fe. Family insiders have suggested that the sisters may seek legal action to ensure that their father's estate is divided evenly among the siblings. If the children pursue legal action, the probate process could be prolonged, potentially delaying the resolution of the estate for months or even years. Legal analysts have pointed to similar high-profile cases where disputes over celebrity estates have resulted in costly legal battles and fractured family relationships. What happens next? In the coming weeks, a probate court in New Mexico is expected to review Hackman's will and issue a preliminary ruling on the estate's status. If the court determines that the absence of a secondary beneficiary creates a legal void, Hackman's children could be declared the rightful heirs to the estate. Alternatively, if the court determines that Hackman's estate plan included provisions for a contingent beneficiary or trust, the estate could be allocated according to those terms. Some legal experts have speculated that Hackman may have established a living trust or separate estate planning document that could clarify the terms of the inheritance. However, no additional legal documents have been located as of yet. Hackman's death marks the passing of one of Hollywood's last great actors from the golden era of American cinema. His performances in films such as The French Connection and Unforgiven remain celebrated as some of the finest in film history. Hackman's decision to retire from acting in 2004 allowed him to spend his later years in quiet retirement with Arakawa in Santa Fe, where the couple enjoyed a peaceful life away from Hollywood's spotlight. As the legal battle over Hackman's estate unfolds, the focus will shift to his children and their potential claim to his fortune. Whether the estate is divided evenly among Christopher, Elizabeth, and Leslie or subjected to additional legal scrutiny remains to be seen. In the meantime, Hollywood and Hackman's fans worldwide have begun mourning the loss of a true cinematic icon, whose talent and legacy will continue to influence generations of actors and filmmakers for years to come.